thank you so much for being willing to kind of be interviewed. I've kind of just started to develop some contacts in LinkedIn, and I was very interested in what you were doing and so on. And of course, you've seen very briefly probably what I've been doing in terms of developing a mental health, mental wellbeing service. So I just really wanted to, my aim with these interviews is to try and get an idea of get sort of real life views. You know, we hear so much in the media about what people think concerning mental health, and I just kind of want to have real conversations with people, and with in all walks of life, in all industries, just a range of kind of different perspectives and views on mental health. So, you know, I hope you'll be able to accommodate me with that. And I will look to sort of incorporate that into the work that I do, because I you know, mental health issues or challenges or whatever they may be, my job is to do whatever I can to promote and really enhance a person's mental well-being. So that's where I'm coming from.
That's brilliant. It's important work you're doing, because you know there needs to be a lot more awareness of mental health and how it affects people and manifests. So yeah, you're doing a great job. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for agreeing to do this with me. I've got about 6 questions, 6, roughly 7, so we can kind of explore those questions if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I've got my little notepad here. So because it's been recorded, I won't spend time writing. If anything, you know, I'll just kind of listen to the recordings and so on. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself, about your journey to where you are and what your business is at the moment? It would be a really sort of good overview for me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I live in London. I was born in London.
Oh, I think we've frozen a little bit.
Have we? Sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. You're there now.
We okay?
You were born in London. That's where I got to.
Yeah, so I was born in London from Caribbean heritage, and you know, my day job. I'm a police officer by day.
Oh right,
Detective
okay.
Constable in the Met Police. Yeah.
Right.
And I've worked in policing for 17 years.
Challenging job. Challenging
Yeah,
job.
it has been a challenging job, and it's been hugely rewarding at the same time. And it's really because of my journey through policing. Mental health has sort of come to the helm for me through my own challenges in dealing with mental health. And to be honest, probably up until about 5 years ago, people used the word mental health, and it really didn't have any, it didn't really resonate with me because I labeled mental health with sort of, I don't know, for want of a better word, sort of crazy people, you know, so that was sort of my understanding of it. And you know, although I was going through it, and I've probably been going through it for a long time, it would took other people to help me see that I was actually going through a mental health issue. And you know, it's been an incredible journey for me, and a real eye opener. And in a strange way, it's been a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
So
Do you want to say a bit more about that?
Yeah,
sounds
because
very interesting.
yeah, because you know, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd gone through these issues with mental health, um, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be here now, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Um, and um, and it has really raised my consciousness, and also it's empowered me.
Mm.
It has really empowered me, in
And
terms
most
of my
people would look at
thinking.
that in the opposite way, that if people feel or believe they have a mental health um, problem or a challenge, that they would feel it disempowers them really. But you're saying the opposite, that it empowers
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I would say I'm saying the opposite because I've managed to learn to cope with it.
Right.
And in
Okay.
learning to cope with it, it's actually given me more confidence.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great. That's actually great, because I think there there is a big fear, isn't there, that mental health issues means for a lot of people that they have no control or may lose control or have a lack of control. But you're saying actually the opposite. So is that because you've learned to develop skills and ways to cope and manage your mental health issue?
absolutely. I've worked really, really hard
Yeah,
at learning to cope, and learning uh, to, how should I put it, improve myself, work on my mental well-being.
yeah,
And I've done reading, I've had a lot of counselling,
yeah,
and I've just immersed myself in it
yeah. Okay,
because I realize the power it has.
excellent. Thank you so much for that, Shaun, because you've kind of got into some of the questions that I was going to look into. Um, and one of those questions was, how you arrived first of all at, is it Black Media, um, Black
Black
Wall
Wall
Street,
Street Media.
Black Wall Street Media. Apologies for that. I'm
That's
kind of
okay.
getting it the wrong way round. What led you to that journey?
Okay, so what led me to that journey was that I engage with a lot of young people, and when I interact with them, one of the things they're shocked at is that I'm a detective. I'm a
Right.
black man, and I'm a
Yeah.
detective,
Yeah.
and I'm nothing like what they'd expect me to be. In
And what
fact,
what do,
I'm
what do they
just
expect you to be?
I
Is there a stereotype
uh
in there?
probably a stereo. Yeah, there's probably a stereotype in there, um, that I think a lot of police officers from ethnic backgrounds feel that they have to behave in a certain way
Hmm.
when being a police officer and to try and fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I just want to be me. I just want to be myself, and in doing that, I think they see a lot of themselves because I came from the same place they did.
Yeah.
I live in the same place they do, and I
Yeah.
totally get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good.
And that helps people to relate to you as well. Um,
100%.
because you've got that connection, that understanding, and choosing to be yourself is far easier to try than trying to fit in to please, because that in itself is very stressful.
It is very, very stressful. It's very damaging
Mm,
to yourself. Um, and it you know it you have to dwarf
mm,
yourself,
yeah,
and that's not a good thing. It can
yeah,
destroy you, and you can lose a sense of actually who you are as a
right.
person.
And
So
did you
yeah.
find within the police service that you were able to get the help and support you needed to deal with what was challenging you the most mentally?
Oh, absolutely. I owe my colleagues as well as my family, but just
Mm,
concentrate on the police service. I owe my colleagues and a lot of people a huge thanks because they helped me. I had counselling.
yeah,
They were patient with me.
yeah,
Um, you
yeah.
know, I, you know, there's certain times I would be triggered by something and react in a certain way,
Mm,
and they were able to recognize that, that I was actually going through something and that it
yeah,
was to do with my mental health, as
yeah,
opposed to me just, being angry at
yeah,
someone just flying off the
yeah,
handle. That there
yeah,
was a
yeah,
deeper,
yeah.
they actually opened my eyes to the fact that, I was going through something even when I couldn't
Mm,
see it myself.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so they have been very supportive.
That's great, because I think there is a view, isn't there, that sometimes um, organisations, institutions like the police service may not necessarily provide um, a support for someone who might be going through a mental health problem. Um, it's still seen very much as a masculine dominated, as a group of men that often hide their feelings. But it sounds like you've really had great support. So I'm really glad to hear that, actually. So it
Yeah,
shows that mental health support is growing and getting better.
absolutely, because there there needs to be I think in policing there needs to be a lot more emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
um, especially in leadership roles.
Right.
Um, and I think they are starting to recognize that,
Mm.
because at the end of the day, although we're police officers, we're still human beings,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we still have things that go on outside of work that affect
Yeah.
us in
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
and we have an awful lot to deal with in work as well, all the
Yes.
pressures as well. So I think it's
Right.
vitally important that support is
Mm.
there.
And do you think that, just following on from what you're saying, that leadership needs to, it sounds like they're just beginning to really recognize this. Has that been lacking in the past, do you think, for other people? Because I think it sounds like you've had a good experience, but it may be a different experience for other people.
Yeah, I mean, that's my experience.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah.
Of course, there are people that aren't going to have the same experience,
Mm. Mm.
and won't have people that are supportive.
Yeah.
So I do regard myself lucky in that respect. I- I've 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 had a great career, and I've been lucky enough to work with some really good people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm blessed in that way. But we still have a long way to go. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not everyone gets that support because again, it's a lot of uh, there's a lot of young people joining the police and going up the ranks, and with maturity comes that emotional intelligence as
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and that can be difficult for many young people trying to climb that career ladder.